So hello and welcome. Okay, I have record on. It is Wednesday, September 16th, and this is the Mentoring Stewards Coherence Call. I heard a beautiful phrase last night on another call where someone said, often we hear say we're mentoring stewards of wholeness. We're mentoring stewards for the good of the whole. We're mentoring stewards of the field itself. And so we're mentoring and being mentored by the field itself. And someone said last night, I think it was Makasha said, we're apprenticing the field. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we're doing here too. We're apprenticing, we're mentoring and being mentored by the field. So welcome to this Mentoring Stewards Coherence Call. So I've asked Linda if she will open us with a resonant attunement and bring us into this beautiful moment of now, this beautiful holy moment of now. Linda.
Thank you, Julie. Good morning, everyone. Well, I'm inviting us to be present, to close our eyes just for a few moments. And when you take the next breath, make it long and slow and deep. A really full breath all the way into your belly and all the way up into your lungs. And as you exhale, just let everything go. Let your shoulders drop. Let your body relax. Do that a few more times, nice and deep and slow. And as you slow down your respiratory system, feel your heartbeat. Feel the pulse of life moving through you. Your veins, your arteries, all the little capillaries, and every cell being fed and nourished by this field of unconditional love and inspiration and wisdom. And as it feeds every cell inside of you, feel your body moving into harmony and coherence, where everything is working together. Your breath, your pulse, your muscles, your bones. Everything as one coherent whole. And then feel the energy of our group. Those of us here who've chosen to show up at this call. And sense how we are coming together as a coherent cell of the organism of good of the whole. Just feel ourselves playing our part, where we know that individually we stand alone in our sovereignty, and together as one within the whole, working together, bringing our hearts and our minds into rhythm. So each one of us shares what we can, what's coming through us, how we are being mentored by the field. And feel the apprenticeship that we have said yes. We are learning. We are together and open. We are receiving at the same time that we are giving, just like your in-breath and out-breath. So let's take one more nice, long, slow, deep breath to the top of your lungs. And as you exhale, bring yourself back to your body and into our space together. And feel that gentle smile coming up that says, hello, the rest of me who are here.
We grew during that.
Hmm?
We expanded and grew during that.
Good.
Expand and grow. Welcome, Sue and Claudia and Grace. You popped in during that beautiful heart resonance. It's so nice to see you here. And thank you, Linda. That was beautiful. So thank you all for being here. We have a lot that I have announcements, and I want to begin. I'm just going to let you know all these pieces that I'm going to bring in, just so you know. One has to bop off early, what you're going to miss, but I just want to kind of give you a sense of this call. I'm going to go through a few things. I want us to do a little bit of sharing from the caravan, so we're going to begin with that. Then I want to announce, I want to share with you what we're doing with the educational platform and our community engagement platform, which is really exciting. I want to just remind you of the One Planet Peace Forum coming up. So I'm going to announce that. And of course, our fundraiser, which will be hopefully by early October, we'll be talking more. I don't have a lot to report on that. And I want to show you what we're playing with for the new calendar for the connection field, which is really kind of cool. And I just want to get your feedback on that. And just another little brief announcement about the website. And then we're going to break out into small groups. We might not need to. We might be able to do this here with a really cool phrase I heard last night. I want to explore it. So thank you for being here. Thank you all for holding the field last week. What a big day. John was gone Monday, and so even the executive leadership team, John and Shelley weren't with us. We had a small group and we debriefed with just a few of us. And so I want to bring that opportunity in here for us. And I was going to limit it, but there's not a lot of us here. So I just would love to hear any shares that you might have from your experience of coming home to the Heartline, your experience of being in the connection field or watching the broadcast in the evening. Just share any wisdom, insights, anything that you might have. I have a few things I want to share, and I'll hold mine till the end. So jump in, unmute yourself. Let us know how that was for you.
Well, this is Sharon in New Jersey, and I was there in the morning. So it was just beautiful to feel the realness, if I want to say, of you all being out there in the cold and the drizzle or the rain, you know, and how it wasn't. And just, you know, it felt very present. I don't know, almost how to describe it, but it was just like everyone was very focused on what they were doing, and you could feel the beautiful energy of that. Oh, I'll just say that.
I'll jump in. Good morning, everyone. It's Linda in Indiana. And as we were talking about it at the Leadership Council on Monday, that I really want to, I was just bowing so deeply, and kudos to Julie and to Shelley for pulling this together, because it was hard work to coordinate all that you did. And I mean, Julie had the mayor. If you didn't watch the evening program, that really was the highlight, the way it all came together. You know, yay to Hubcast that made more sense of the morning into the evening. And Julie was a beautiful, as usual, representative and MC, and really bringing the heartland home. And I was so, so, so proud to be there, not there physically, but there, and kind of watching behind the scenes with the Zoom room and really being involved all day. And to realize the importance of picking up this heart piece in the heartland, even though it was about corn and seeds and nourishment and growth and how important it is, and about how the cranes come and go, taking that piece and then moving it through the caravan to St. Louis and back up to Chicago, and now it's on its way. So anyone who is there who contributed in any way has left your heart print on the caravan. And I think the day, it just comes back to the hard work I know that went behind the scenes to coordinate the people and the timing. And Julie did a magnificent job. So if you haven't seen that evening program, it's a couple of hours, do watch that. Yeah, do watch that. It really came together very coherently. I'm complete for now.
We have shy ones. I'll just echo that, Linda, because I hear, I'm watching several faces like, oh, I didn't watch the evening. If you haven't watched the evening broadcast, please do that. And one of the other blessings from that is Linda created an incredible video that will give you goosebumps, open your heart, give you hope, elevate you. And then John Brockett created an incredible video. And so you will see both of those videos, and you will also see the coherent, I hope you will see a coherent storytelling of coming home to the heart and what happens when we allow ourselves to just come into that heart space. So lots of gorgeous music, some shares from our own community. And it is I haven't finished watching it yet. I'm looking forward to, I have half of it watched, and so I'm ready to watch the second half. But do go there. There's a link to it in our digest, and we'll continue. I think we'll go ahead and share it again on our Good of the Whole pages and in the connection field page, but also share it out. Please click on it and hit share, share it with your community, share it in groups, share it on your pages, share that video out. It's worth continuing to share it, and so people can watch it. And it doesn't mean, you know, that the caravan is past Nebraska, so it's not relevant. It's really there's some beautiful stories in there. There's one on the Tri-Faith Initiative, which is so powerful. And that's my one piece. I wanted to share the story of the Pawnee Seed Preservation Project more fully, and time did not allow to really have a professionally really nice storytelling of that. And so I feel to hopefully bring that back sometime and really do a better job. I'm not going to say a better job like we didn't do a good job, but they need their story told, and they're not good storytellers. They're amazing servants and stewards, and they're doing incredible works. So we need to bring the storytellers to them to bring that story alive. So that was one of my feedbacks from that. And yeah, and Ben asked me to do a keynote, and I never did get to do my own keynote speech. And so that was kind of sad, but I felt the most important piece for me was to hold the field of the whole and to make that story be coherent and weave through from the moment we started to the ending. And so there was a couple themes that were woven through, and that got to be my job. So thank you, Linda, for that feedback. Anything else?
Yeah, I would like to say, Julie, that I was there from the morning until you completed at night. And I thought you did an amazing job with the weaving of the story of the seed and the cranes, and just the whole thing I thought was just amazing, particularly knowing all the difficulties and behind the scenes and what that took to get it all together, and all of that, all the pieces, all the moving parts came together really beautifully. And I was really impressed with the Opera House, and you particularly were amazing at a keynote. I mean, I didn't hear your keynote, but just as the speaker, and that was great. And I understand what you're saying about the two women who had a powerful story, but weren't particularly good at telling that story. But I can see a vision of doing it like a video, with getting the Native Americans and interweaving their dance with the corn, and that would be amazing. So,
Yeah.
anyway, thank you so much. Really, really appreciated it, enjoyed it. It was great.
Thank you, Ariana. I appreciate that feedback. Thank you.
I'll drop my 2 cents in. I also participated from the beginning till the end. I was around for most of that day. And it's interesting because I actually started watching the opening ceremony a few days back with the flags. It's the only thing I had caught up until the day that Good of the Whole hosted it. And the flag ceremony to me was really impressive as well. I was watching it on another Zoom group, and I noticed that a couple of people, got distracted and kind of went off to do their thing. But I actually sat and repeated every single name of every single country as it came out. And to me, it was a wonderful experience. And then I kind of, stepped out until the day on Wednesday with the Good of the Whole. And the water ceremony, I was just thinking, oh my God, here again, everybody of service. It's freezing, it's windy, they're pulling this all together. And it was just wild. It was impressive. It was heartfelt to see it being done. And the corn, for me from Guatemala, there is a creation story about the corn and how we are all people of the corn. The first people were made of mud. We were also people made of sticks. But now what lives on earth is the people of the corn. So that had a really big impact and connection for me as well. And it was a beautiful day because in the Mayan tradition, Wednesday was Tu Kawok. And Tu is about community. Tu is about family. Kawok is also about the community. It's about the family. It's like the Turtle Island kind of thing, and coming together in unity. So I thought that it was a really interesting timing and an appropriate day. And like Linda said, it was interesting because it feels like in the grand scheme of things, I've met this group just a couple of months ago. But there really was this sense of, wow, look at them. I know them. I'm so proud. Look at them go. So it was really, really beautiful to see. Randall and Oriana created this beautiful video, John's and Linda's video, to see Imani and Jerry play their instruments. It was really heartfelt. So thank you.
Thank you, Claudia.
I enjoyed the meeting. I think just the overall work that went into it, sort of, I have to say, ditto to all the compliments. Not just the heartfelt program that the Good of the Whole sponsored, but just the whole concept of bringing people together across the world. That was really a unique innovation, and a kind of a model of what needs to be done more in the future. I thought the animated films by Linda uh,
John?
and John, by Linda and John were outstanding. The words were fantastic, but there's a lot of work in that animation to do the animation. People don't realize it takes a lot of time to do that. And to pick the right scenes that give emotion to the words. The words are wonderful, but when you have the actual scenes, the visual as well as the audio, it really adds the emotion that makes a difference. So I think that was really outstanding. I thought the bringing in the cranes was another highlight. The idea of nature, that there's such coordination. You just think this kind of symphony of what happens, how we're so prepared, already prepared or biologically prepared for this very complex set of behaviors. And you actually saw it with the cranes and the words that, explain how, they travel thousands of miles. And that life is not simple. It kind of indicates, that there's something very special there. But I think sometimes we get a little caught up ourselves, and we get a little too caught up in patting ourselves on the back and not really looking at what's the next step. The wisdom step is, love is the fine part, but the wisdom step, which is what do we do next? I think what's been missing in much of the meetings we have and this meeting we had here is the call to action. Until we can say, look, this is now, we're aware of the problem. And we're beginning to be aware we need to do something, and we have some solutions. Unconditional love, we all agree to that. We all need to know that we need to share our love. We need to be part of good of the whole. But what we have to take a look at is what's the next action step? Where do we go from here? What's the wisdom step? So I think we need to spend a little more emphasis on the call to action, is what I guess the COA call it, the CTA, the call to action. So that's I think we need to look at not just how good everything is. We also asked ourselves, how do we improve ourselves now? How do we bring together our genius at this point and say, okay, now what's next? And the next steps are not easy. It's comfortable to endorse ourselves. It's comfortable to talk about what we are and what we do. But the uncomfortable part is what we have to do yet, because we realize there are lots of problems in this world. Just think of a list of problems with prejudice and starvation and global warming. You can list so many of them. We really have to address these issues more specifically. So that's my comment. So again, kudos to everyone. You did a great job, and I thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity to see these things.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you. Good afternoon from where I am. Good morning still. Don, thank you. That's kind of where I am. I enjoyed the whole caravan, and I really especially love the flags. I think I played that back twice, 2 or 3 times. That ceremony around the flags, the possibilities of merging in these hearts and bringing us together in a way that we never been brought together, to really, I think, begin to dive into those most difficult pieces that sometimes we step away from. Yeah, what does it take for us to really bring this to a reality where we move into and breaking these barriers, whether they within ourselves or between groups in our community, really the hard work that has to be done. And sometimes that's, like I said, we steer away from that. We love the good fuzzies and the feel good, but now how do we get into the real stuff that makes us come together, help us to come together? So I really appreciate the ongoing discussions and where we are right now. That it's a threshold. So now, how do I step over that threshold and come into the next part of that? That's what I would like to see us doing. So thank you. Thank you, Don.
Okay, thank you for that feedback. If anybody has anything else really burning that you want to reflect on, just hop in here. I have a beautiful response to Ia and Dawn in our breakout, so we will get to that. That is part of what we're moving toward. And I just want to say, what is the call to action? The call to action is coming home to the heart, coming home to the land, coming home to the heartland. And what does that look like? And the hard work is the heart work. And the heart work is the hard work. And that's where we're going in our continued conversation here. So let me tell you a few more things that are call to action that are going to help us do our work as a community and as looking at that very question. We are in the process, many of you know Andrea, and she's working with us as an organizational consultant to put the systems and structures in place so we can move forward with more efficacy and proficiency. We have been a complete volunteer organization for many years, completely volunteer. And it takes a lot to hold all the elements that we're doing. And what we're finding out is we're acting like this huge corporation and we're 100% volunteer. And so we're putting the systems and structures in place to, number one, create with ease and joy, but number two, set us up to really work as an organization now that we're a 501c3. We've held this as an organism that wanted to grow, wanted to birth itself, and we still hold it as an organism. But as an organization, we need to figure out how to make that work. And so we're doing that. One of the things is this new educational platform, which is so exciting. We have a goal that within a couple of weeks, we'll have some things on that new platform. We're in the process of shifting our website over to a WordPress website, but also implementing these platforms. And one is to really offer professional, amazing, clear, easy to manage educational offerings by many of you and others that want to come in. And so this platform makes it really easy to do that, you can come into the course, you can find everything easily. It's really easy to navigate. There'll be videos, there'll be handouts, there'll be all of that. And to go along with the educational piece, the policies and procedures, really getting us ready to say, what's it like to be a student coming in? And I know I have agreements. What's it like to teach in the connection field? I have my agreements. We know what we're doing. So that's one piece of this platform. And the other piece is community engagement, because we will be able to move the mentoring stewards over into this new platform and create with so much more ease and community engagement and see each other and find each other and honor each other and love on each other even more. So that's really exciting. And then I do want to show you this calendar. I just want to make another announcement. Just like we said, if you haven't seen the broadcast of that evening, please do, and please share it. But if you haven't seen on the digest, the One Planet Peace Forum, it's at the top of the digest. Tonight we have a special event. Maestro Raul, Brother Raul, will do a Black Moon ceremony tonight at 9:30 Eastern. You're all invited. It's just came on the schedule. So he will continue with his new moon ceremony tomorrow, but the Black Moon is tonight with Raul at 9:30 Eastern. So right underneath that is the One Planet Peace Forum, and Good of the Whole is co-producing that. And so that will be the 25th, 26th, 27th, I think. I think those are the dates, but please look at that. If it's calling to you, there'll be, there's a link right to the website. You can see a lot of the different speakers, participants, there'll be some panels, and it's just a few hours each of those days. It's not like an all day thing for 3 days. It's just a couple of hours each day. So please feel free to share that out, support that. we are co-producing with Bob Atkinson, who's the founder of this, and many people up in the far northeast who are hosting this. It was going to be a live event and COVID canceled that. So it is now a virtual event, and love to see all of you there. And I already mentioned the website. So I'm just going to share this. I'm going to share my screen and share this, what we're playing with for the new calendar. And I would love your opinions. If after we're done, I'll tell you how to get to it and you can give us some specific feedback. But this to me is really exciting. We played with some calendars that are just like a calendar and you're just seeing the calendar, but then you have to click on each thing to get the description, to get the images, and it's just a regular calendar. And to us, it was really hard to navigate and really feel that qualitative feeling. That inner sense of connectivity doesn't do anything when you just see this calendar and words. So we're trying to get that yummy warmth and engagement and welcoming of this calendar. So I'm going to share what we're playing with here and take you on a little tour. And I don't know if Shelley's even seen this yet, to be honest. I gave it to her a few days ago and she hasn't said a word, so I don't know if she's even seen it. So here we are. This will be an actual link on our website. This is a Trello board. And so it looks really big right now. I made it big so it'd be on my screen, but I'll show you. It doesn't look that big. When it's smaller, it looks different, but I made it big on purpose. But on this Trello board, as you could see, in the very first field here, we have special events and announcements. Then we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then support materials. So this would be the calendar that you'd go on. And literally you could go down, scroll down, and this is the special events. So here's Raoul's Black Moon ceremony for tonight. Here's our community coherence call. This is how to get the Zoom link and more information on the connection field. We have the Zoom, the time zone converter at the bottom, and then just a reminder to scroll back up. So if you look at this, so here, let's go to Wednesday. It's Wednesday here. So here's Wednesday and our morning fire, the heart coherence meditation. If you click on it, we will add Julie's bio and her image here so that you have that and links to her website, which will be for everyone. Here's the Resonance Lounge. Again, you can see noon to 3. You can click on it. There'll be a description and more information. And here's the healing field with Linda and I. And if you see, there's our description. There's our bios about Dr. Julie, about Dr. Linda. Here's links to our websites. You can find us here. And then if you, we'll be putting more information, more imagery here. So here's what it looks like. There's Joan, her brief description, her image. So again, it reminds us to scroll back up. You can scroll over. We'll be able to put our Mentoring Steward documents and connection field documents if anybody wants to add their offerings. It tells them, if you're interested, want to become a host or learn more about the connection field, here are important documents and materials to help you in your quest. So we have people asking all the time, I want to offer something. Well, they'll have step 1, step 2, step 3. We'll have to recreate this. So it's really easy. Like, here's what you do, 1, 2, 3. And then this is just a link to our website. So it will be very visual. We have it branded with the connection field logos here at the top. Lots of potential, lots of ability to expand even more and put more on here, make it even more user-friendly. But to me, it's more visual, more fun. And I'm going to be quiet if anybody has a question while I leave it up. so I can answer it from here. And if not, I'll come back to the main room here and stop screen sharing. So anyone, any questions or comments? You're gonna have to jump in without visually seeing each other.
Hey, Julie, it's Sharon. I think this looks fabulous. I love the visualness of it. And right now, is everything consistent on each day? So if there was something that was only going to be offered once at one time, would that be over on that far left column on special events or something?
Yes, if it's a one-time thing, we can put it on the day, but it would be a lot of work. Like add it to Wednesday, take it off from Wednesday. You know, so yes, like the Black Moon special event is announced here, and it's going to come and go. So when there is a special event that's not every Wednesday or every Tuesday or every Monday, it will be in the special events right over here. Yes.
This is great.
Thank you, Sharon. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, Don here speaking. First of all, I think this is, it really is fabulous because this is easy friendly now. The present website is not very easy friendly.
Right.
It's very confusing, but this is laid out in a way that people can very rapidly identify what the day is, and then they can see what's in it for them for the day. So I think that is very critical. If you don't have a user-friendly website, then you're not going to attract people. So I think this is terrific. The other is that it's pretty clear that right now it looks like most of the time is filled. And I think that if you're presenting something now that's as inviting as this is, you're going to get many more people who want to express themselves. One of the key things people want is to be able to have a voice and express themselves. So that means I think you might need to be thinking of a second layer or even a third layer eventually. If this is going to grow, you may need to have alternative choices for the same time. If you're filling up all your time already, where are you going to put new people when they come in? So what I'm saying, you may need to get another one or more at some time in the future. Think of more Zoom links.
Yeah.
And you know, where you can duplicate some of these things. Like when you go to a big meeting, you may have 3 meetings going on at one time. Right now we're small enough that you can do, you know, you can pretty much fill up most of the day. But I think to look to the future, that's one possibility. The other thought is that you raised the issue, Julie, of you need a little more professional support. You know, as volunteers, volunteers can only give so much of their time, right? People have to work, they have to eat, make a living, and so on. And right now, I think you're looking towards having people pay to build up your funds. And I just want to suggest that maybe there's an alternative, and that is to look for some donors who will donate a significant amount of money as a different, maybe an additional way of funding. If your target group for a program like this is going to be the people that are needed most are those who can't afford to pay. The greatest number of people we really need to attract to make a difference in the world are those people who are not in a position to pay on a regular basis. And so the alternative way would be to get sort of funds where people are enough concerned about the program, like it enough. You know, there are many multimillionaires who, you know, if to donate a large sum of money is like pocket change if you find the right people. And I think I'm just suggesting that's another direction to kind of look into if you're going to open up this to the larger number of people in the world who need the services that the good of the whole can provide. And right now, I think people are just struggling to get food. They're not going to be signing up to pay something on a monthly basis for something that right now what they need more is, as they say, if you give a person a fish, he'll eat for the day. But if we can educate people, which is what this program does, we can educate people to learn how to fish. That's really what our goal is. And so those are just some thoughts, but I think this is really terrific. I congratulate you for such a clear, nice, easy way to present this program.
Thank you, Don. I'll just mirror back what you said, because everything you said is the executive leadership team's plan in that, or the executive leadership council's plan is that this will continue to be free and available to anyone. And we are looking for those donors, and perhaps not a sponsorship in an icky corporate way, but people sponsoring pieces of this and having those donors. So we do want to provide this. This is our community program. This is our Mentoring Stewards offering. So this is a community-led, community-ran program offering. The connection field is at that. And so grants, donors, yes, we hope to continue in that, looking in that direction. And also with the education piece that we talked about, is to make that affordable for everyone. And there will be some programs that won't be affordable, I'm sure. And yet we can offer scholarships and look at other creative financing and alternatives as we start to unroll or roll out some of these other programs. So any other comments about this calendar before I come off of screen share? Any other?
I love it.
Oh, Claudia.
Echo going on here.
I can't find you, Claudia, to help.
Might want to mute there, Claudia.
Everyone's echoing.
How's that?
There you go. Now we can hear you, Claudia. Just the I love it. You can give us a nod. I see your face now. Just the I love it, Claudia, or do you want to try again? Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else?
I do want to add that I have been trying to reach everyone who is a mentoring steward to send in your picture and bio, particularly if you're on this calendar. Most of you have. Some are on this call who have not done that. I'm not going to say any names. But make sure that if you want to, have the follow-up on this calendar where they click on your offering and they want to know more about you, please send us your picture and your bio. So, and send it to linda@goodofthewhole.org. I'll make sure that it gets into the proper place. I love this, Julie. It's making such beautiful, it's making sense.
Thank you.
Better than how it's been.
See how important the visual is to just warm it up and be engaged? It just feels more engaging and more, yeah. Thank you, Linda. Anyone else before I stop sharing? Feel free to jump in.
I was just going to offer before my computer and my cell phone went all wonky, that Don was talking about the calendar, and as more people want to join in and more programming, instead of other Zoom links, I know that there's another organization that uses the main room as kind of like a reception room, and then they'll create the breakout rooms for the actual classes so that it can all kind of still funnel through the good of the whole or the connection field, and then you just have the breakout rooms for the classes. But I love the look of this calendar and how easy it is to get the background information as to what's going on and who's presenting it for the hour. So it's lovely.
Thank you, Claudia. And yes to the Dawn piece as well about multiple. We've also, would love to do a children's connection field all day long, and there are others. So I agree that we could be doing more than one thing at one time. We're trying to we're trying to understand what hours of the day. You will all be getting a survey real soon to help co-create this, because there are certain hours that we have the lull. Linda and I are a direct result of that. We have the Wednesday afternoon. What time is it, Linda? 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. And we really don't get a lot of traffic that time of day. So we know that the residence lounge kind of drops off. It starts out full in the morning and drops off too. We're trying to play with that. So we want to know your opinions. You're going to be getting that survey, and that will be really helpful. Okay, any last comments about the calendar or questions?
I just have a comment about the brought up the traffic for good of the whole. And I was just on the water activation for the up convergence doing a presentation. And they have like 25 different rooms going simultaneously, I think. It's crazy. But what happens is that then the audience gets watered down to where you're not drawing people anymore. It's almost like overwhelming, too confusing. Like, well, what room am I supposed to, what is this? And there's so many things happening that it actually lessens the real impact rather than bringing more people to. There's so many beautiful offerings now, and they're the people that have been behind the scenes as mentoring stewards all along. And so to bring in new people and new offerings to just water down what we're doing doesn't seem appropriate at this time, at any rate. So my question would be, what are we doing to bring in more traffic, to make this more available to those that would really appreciate that it's a no cost, great education, great programming. So
thank you, Oriana. And that is our next piece, is looking at how we will market this. What we're literally putting the system, we built it, and now we're putting the foundation under the connection field. We built it as a response to COVID, and now we're putting the infrastructure in so it can be sustainable and move past. So I agree with you completely. I've had the same concerns about the up convergences. There's so much going on. It's not that we're expanding the audience, we're bifurcating and just going into many different smaller things. I've been a part of it and have been asked to be a guest on several up convergence rooms myself, and that's what happens, is very few get to see it. And if you go to the Peace Weekend page, there's 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 things live at the same time. Like literally, you go to the Peace Weekend page and there's multiple live events happening at the same time simultaneously. You can't watch them all live. You could share them later, you could tune in later, but I agree with you. We're here to do the very best with what we have right now, begin to expand the audience, expand our reach, and then build it from that place. And not even, I'm going to go back, I'm going to stop screen sharing because I want to share something important here that I think is a lesson from me from last week. And that important is, we've lost a few people. The important piece, lesson for me last week that I think is so valuable was the two stories that we shared last Wednesday on Coming Home to the Heartland on our broadcast event were, oh, I got goosebumps. Still got goosebumps. Started with the heart, and started with love, started with relationships, and 2 incredible programs were built as a result of that. And what I mean by that, if you haven't watched, I'll just give you an example of the Tri-Faith Initiative. It's a story that we told. So it's not like, I want to go create world peace and we've got to get everybody doing this at the same time, and what's that end result and how do we get there? It's like coming back to the heart and then watching the co-creation with the impulse of evolution moving through all of us. So the Tri-Faith Initiative began September 11th when the Twin Towers came down. A local Jewish rabbi in Omaha, Nebraska said, I have to go protect my Muslim friends they're going to get pushback. They're in danger. We need to go protect them. And they were strangers. And an act of courage, he got 30 to 40 friends, and they went and stood outside of the mosque and protected them that day. I still have goosebumps. And out of that, I love these goosebumps. We have to tell these stories, you guys. Out of that courageous act, heart, courage, right? Courage, heart. That's where the root word comes from. After the courageous act and the compassion from the heart grew a friendship, an enduring friendship, where this rabbi and the imam at the time built this beautiful friendship. And out of the friendship began a conversation to say, what would it, we need to move. What would it be like if we shared a parking lot? Could we share a parking lot? And out of that question said, why share a parking lot? Let's share a whole campus. And who else can we invite in? And out of that became this global international model of interfaith cooperation, where a Christian church, a Jewish synagogue, and a Muslim mosque share an entire campus, share programming, share education, share food, share celebration, share prayers. Not to convert, but to love one another. And that's the response as we look forward of what we have to come back to the heart. And when we engage the heart and we come from that place of courage and compassion and love, who knows what we will build as we continue to follow this impulse of evolution right here in the connection field and beyond. So thanks for that prompt, Oriana. Yes, it's not to compete with ourselves. It's to really come back to that heart, the heartland, the resonance, come back to the inherent wholeness, this felt sense of connection, this inherent sense and remembering of our wholeness, and come from there, and amazing things will be built. We are affecting education, healthcare, governance. I mean, things are emerging everywhere. Let's bring the heart in, and the heart work is the hard work, and the hard work is the heart work, and then the rest is going to come. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for seeing that calendar. Ken, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, I'm going to have to be gone because I don't know when customers are going to come in. But let me offer a suggestion. It's obvious things can expand quickly, and I agree with Dawn, multiple sessions. There's going to be a lot of people who want to share their stuff. But if we think about the essence of this whole thing was the connection field, to get people in touch with their heart, with the field. To me, that was the linchpin. That was the piece. That is the piece that held us all together, because there's some gentleman who said, 4 months ago, I joined it and I was able to share and bring in through the connection field or something like that. And now all of a sudden, they're friends. They feel very intimate with the people they're on. So what I'd like to offer is, knowing it's going to expand, knowing people have a lot to offer, to just try and remember the foundation, I think, of this Zoom thing has been the connection field. So I would just suggest somehow keep that as the linchpin, allow things to grow out, but kind of preserve that the best that can be done. Because where do you get a new person in touch with their heart? They come to the connection field, they hear sharing, they talk about the heart, they get in touch with it, and then they go out into the world, or they say, oh, I want to talk about this program or that program. And so I would just recommend trying to keep that as the linchpin. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question for Ken to clarify? When you say the resonant field,
Oh,
the connection field,
yeah.
Are you talking about the resonance lounge?
Yes.
Okay.
That's sort of, in my opinion, where it all started and where people start. Because they come, some people never heard of, connecting with the field, and that kind of grows out from there. So yeah, the residence lounge, I apologize.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for clarifying that. So we have 15 minutes left, and I do want to get to what we promised with Don and Ia of those next steps. And I heard a phrase last night in the Up Convergence. Our friend Carlos, Juan Carlos Cantin, said something like, it came out so fast. I'm like, oh, I like that. I need to talk to him. Something like, it's time to move from the whole mess to the wholeness. And he says, and it's amazing what one letter can do, right? The whole mess and wholeness. And I'm like, oh, I love that. Like, get to the whole, we've got to do this. And so, yeah, if the hard work is the hard work, if the hard work is the hard work of really building this new world that we all know is possible, the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. Charles Eisenstein, thank you. The question would be, what is the call to action as we move from the whole mess to the wholeness? What are our next steps? What are your next steps? What is your call to action? And how might we support that? I'm wondering if anybody's feeling that, what that means. Yes, Grace, you're on.
So it's funny you're talking about this. I just did a 4,350-mile journey this past 2 weeks out west through 11 states visiting family. And so coming back yesterday, we've come back through Nebraska. So Julie, you felt a love bomb. I sent one when we passed your area. But anyway, coming over the Madrid Fault, coming back home, I felt that sense felt like, oh, me and Kathy have work to do here. It was just that sense going over the Madrid Fault. It's in the Western Kentucky kind of, for people who don't know, it's in the Western Kentucky kind of range. And it was a big earthquake back in the 1800s. Well, I'm scrolling Facebook. I'm not driving, so I'm scrolling Facebook, and I catch last night the Heart Resonance group with Shelley and Tyson and Charlie and others. And I just sound live on Facebook, and I'm driving, and they're talking about the mending the hoop with Peter Shampoo. And it just pulled me in, like, oh, so I'm watching it live. I get out of the car, unload the car, get up on Zoom, and they're talking about the new Madrid Center being on next Tuesday during the equinox. They want people at the center, and around the center, Charlie had put like 9 points leading to the center for mending the collective trauma of the land, the people, the Native Americans, the land itself. And it is in the center of it is the new Madrid Fault. Mm-hmm. And so I'd gotten the sense 5 hours earlier when we drove over it, oh, we have work here to do, me and Kathy. And then later on that night, mending the loop, comes here last night, mending this loop. And so I have my action. I called Kathy this morning before this phone call. We're going to the Madrid Center with quartz and crystals and rose quartz, do a ceremony this weekend. So on Tuesday morning, we'll planted, love and healing, gratitude and forgiveness there, so we can actually shift the energy. So that's how the field works. It's listening, that call to action, what's next. You just have to listen, you have to feel it. I sensed it before I knew what was to do. So it's that listening and feeling in the heart will bring you what your next action is. And Kathy bought quartz crystals 2 weeks ago, didn't know what she was doing it. So, well, you know now what they were for. So it's again, that listening, that deep listening comes to our next action. So next week, we're going this weekend to plant the crystals and do ceremony. And then on Tuesday morning in the connection field, they're talking about like 7 a.m. to get together at the right moment for the equinox to promote balance, opening the heart, sending energy to promote balance and to help with the forgiveness and shifting this collective trauma off of the heartland of the United States. So that's my share.
Thank you, Grace.
If I can add to that, that's just the beginning of some of the work that we're planning to do with that group. Since I was able to get Peter to come on board and share, and been learning from Peter, I've become so aware through the field of just how important that work is, and that location is a very important, powerful area to begin but there's a lot more to go. So, so anyone interested. And by the way, Linda, I always saw you there at a point because one of the points is Chicago. So, and I know you're an amazing, powerful healer. So just something to think about if you'd like to come join us. Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
Is more information about this going to be up on the Connection Field Facebook page?
It will be
Yes.
in the digest for sure. I heard
On-
from Shelley this morning about tomorrow, about the morning session. We'll get it in. She didn't have time to get it in today, so we'll get it in before the next digest, I'm assuming.
And this session is going to be Tuesday? Okay.
Tuesday morning, equinox is at 7, excuse me, well, it's 7:31 Central Standard Time, so that's 9:31 Eastern Time. So we're going to start early for things. Claudia's there. Claudia's part of this, so she knows too. And then, of course, that evening is, you know, the regular group meeting, which we will then continue some of the work that evening, because that Tuesday is the regular day for that group anyway. But we wanted to do it at the time of the equinox.
Great.
It's going to be more like 9:30 Eastern time? 9
Yeah,
o'clock?
9:31 to be exact, I believe, yeah.
So the Zoom will be at that time as well. Right.
And I'd also like to remind people that we have a new moon also. We're talking about the Black Moon ceremony tonight because the new moon is at 5, well, from my time it's 5 a.m., so that would be 7 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So it's a very powerful time to be setting intentions and doing the work that you've come for.
Yeah, this is Ken. I'm going to have to drop off, but I want to reiterate what Grace said. Because I was puzzled by the comment, well, what's the call to action forward? And my experience has been exactly what Grace says. It comes through the heart and listening and paying attention and to be led where you want to go. And I found the path of the heart really isn't that hard. The hard part is struggling with the ego to get out of the way and do what the heart has asked rather than what the ego wants. And I would just offer the key to the call forward is, what does your heart ask you to do? And it may just ask you to sit and do nothing, or it may ask you to do exactly what kind of things that Grace has been asked to do. So I just wanted to offer that, and I thank everybody. I apologize, but I do have to go. Take care. Thank you.
I think it is time to redefine the call to action as that spiritual call, the soul's calling into action. It comes from the heart. Thank you, Ken, who dropped off. The call to action is simply listening, coming home to the heart and following, because we each have something different to do. Linda?
Yeah, I'd like to add that most of us are doing the heart work already. And just following that thread back to what Don was saying about what's our next step. Yes, it is to do the things that we're already doing. For me, I get restless and it's like, there's more, there's always more. And so I'll just share with you right now, I'm in the middle of Andrew Harvey's course, Radical Regeneration, which is incredibly powerful, and how he talks about the dark night of the soul of the entire solar system, you know. But right now on Earth, we are in a dark night of the soul. So he, you know, this is what we have to face. And then this is what we do. And it's our spiritual practice. I'm also taking a little course from Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton about moving from chaos to coherence. I'm reading The Moment of Choice. There are so many things that are opening us to what is next. So yes, there's an urgency. Yes, let's hurry up and do it. While at the same time, it's really getting your downloads and understanding what is mine to do and where do I move next with these things. So I know there are steps. I'll just say that in Chicago, Dr. Marty Casey was there, and she has the Ungun Institute, which I really hope that we can feature her at some point. with Good of the Whole. She's offering training that I'm going to be taking, and it's about helping people ungun, take the bullets out of their own bodies that have been the bullets of trauma from police brutality, from inequity, and and the racial injustice. And I'm just feeling like if we're going to see ourselves as whole, we have to be in the diversity of all of it, all of the pain and all of the love, and really take that next step. So I don't know exactly how that's going to look or unfold, but there are so many things converging right now, and I guess that's the up convergence. So at the same time, we're all feeling, it's kind of like John's video. It's like, there's all this stuff that we know is falling apart in front of us. It's horrid. And yet there's this sense of we are coming together. So my little cheerleading here is don't give up, stick with this, keep listening, and we're on our way. And I'm so grateful for every one of you. I'm complete.
Marty K. Casey will be joining us in some capacity and doing some work with us. So, and if you haven't heard her message, I did a series of 4 conversations on the Dr. Julie show that were really powerful. So you'll get a good sense of who she is and who she be. So tune into that. And right now on the Dr. Julie show right now, Kate always comes over here. She used to listen every Wednesday. Poor Kate can't listen live anymore. We're starting a series on our moment of choice. So right now I have Deborah Moldow and Bob Atkinson on talking about the book, Our Moment of Choice. Then we're going to go deeper into each of the themes, each of the circles within the book for the next 7 weeks, 7 or 8, because we might get a little bonus at the end show on. So if you want to learn more about Our Moment of Choice, do that. We talked about it being a great time to read that circle and then tune into that show and really feel deeper into it. So.
How do we listen if we're here on Wednesdays? How do we catch it?
I usually post the replay link, which I'll post it in the connection field. I'll post it on Good of the Whole. I'll just do it.
Yeah. Thanks, Julie. Great. Yay.
I'd like to comment, if I might. When smart people talk, it's good to listen. And one of the smartest people in the world, according to most people's views, is Einstein. Einstein, if you remember, told us that, actually, I think he told us what we need to do in order to change the way we think. He said the only way we'll create world peace is to change the way we think. That was his message. And he also said you cannot solve a problem that we created using the same way of thinking that we've been thinking. So I just want to, when we say we need to continue to do what we've been doing, we really need to question that statement. I think Einstein said we need to change the way we're thinking. My work in the addictions led me to conclude we are addicted, biologically addicted to a way of thinking that teaches us tribal love. Tribal love is the source of most of our problems. It says, what's good for my tribe for here and now? That's what we learn. It's what we biologically have. So I just suggest that let's look at that possibility. What are the new ways of thinking? And I think the answer is there's some new language that we need to create. That was Einstein's message. We're not listening to that. We have to teach ourselves to think where the new language where we cooperate instead of compete with one another. The way that most people in the world think biologically is what's good for my tribe for here and now. And if we just change that one simple sentence, that would change everything. If we just change that, what's good for my tribe and your tribe for now and the future. You see the difference there? That sentence says simply, how can we work together? There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no good or bad. But the meme or the motto that most people subscribe to is what's good for my tribe for here and now. That's tribal love. So it's unconditional love that we're born with, that is where the ego is. That I think was Ken was talking about earlier. Perhaps we need to not just listen to that voice, but we need to look at another way of thinking. So thank you, and that's just my comment.
Thank you, Don. So we've come to 1:15. Thank you all. Is there any last thing that has to be spoken into the field before we close? Anyone? No?
Julie, can you stay on a couple minutes, or do you need to pop off?
No, I can stay on.
Okay, I just want to ask a question.
Okay.
Thank you for this, Julie. It was a wonderful call today. And I love how other mentoring stewards really are coming together. And when I said we have to keep doing what we're doing, I meant in the resonance lounge. I meant here in the connection field. We separating from the whole rest of them, which isn't right, but to keep that vibration going so that others are, we become the attractor field.
And the new way of thinking is thinking here, thinking from the heart and responding and listening to that unified field of consciousness that's guiding that impulse of evolution that's moving through each one of us. That's a new way of thinking that's not in the world. And we have to mentor that and yeah, continue to expand that. So would anyone like to close us with a little love and goodness? Oh, Sharon, you unmuted yourself. Did you want to add?
I can do that too.
Okay, you both.
Sure, yeah. So I just wanted to add to the field to that fall migration of the birds is in full swing right now. So get out there with your binoculars and see what's flying around, flying through, because there are many, many beautiful birds coming through wherever you are right now. And that we'll take a moment just and hold the space of being and our interconnection with all of nature, with all beings and with all of nature, and the rhythms that are therein. And we are rising, we are deepening our knowing, our connection to our hearts and to all that is, so that we do listen and we do hear and we do follow that, and our actions flow from the heart together. And we move out with that consciousness into our day.
Thank you, Sharon. Beautiful reminder. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for showing up. Much love to everyone. Mwah. I like that. Alrighty. Oh yeah. Thanks, Peter Melton.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
My pleasure. See you later.